Welcome, everyone, to the Tethys Shipyards. I am Takeshi Yamato, the Yardmaster, joining our host, the Housecoat Gamer.
Yo.
Today we start on Lyran starships. I start going into Lyran starships. We start with their most basic class, most basic ship.
The Cheetah was introduced in 2247.
Ah, 247. Okay.
However, that was the basic model. Later on, newer subtypes were introduced. This is the improved Lynx-Class light frigate. The Bobcat, the Wildcat class scout frigate. And the Bobcat class field repair tender.
Okay, the last one is Bobcat.
Yep.
Alright, so the basic Cheetah class would be a 2247 ship, and the various subtypes will have altered gears based on So, let's start with the basic Cheetah.
When it was introduced in the late 2240s, she represented something of a quantum leap in starship design, for the Lyrans at least.
Yeah.
However, she incorporated several elements that were both vastly out of date, yet ahead of their time.
Huh.
One, the warp reactor complex is actually in the tail of the ship.
Huh.
This is similar to older Earth-style vessels, such as the SS Valiant.
Right.
However, this actually introduced something of a unique, well, future-proofing. As a result of the weapons being mounted directly on top of the warp nacelles, power could be diverted straight from the warp reactor into the weapons system.
Huh.
Just like the Constitution II class. However,
Yeah.
just like the Constitution II, if warp power was lost, say goodbye to your weapons.
Yeah.
Of course, Lyran tacticians decided this was an acceptable compromise. After all, if the warp reactor suddenly goes offline, it's likely the ship will explode soon afterwards.
So, let's see. Cheetahs, the Cheetah class and all its variants are probably small enough to be scale 3.
Oh, most likely. Unfortunately, well, you can't use 2247 as the base construction date.
Oh.
All of these ships are technically refits of the design, and they were introduced or newly constructed as needed.
Right. Well, the baseline is like when the class first entered service. So if the Cheetah starts 2247, we do a base stat line for that, and then we do conversions for the Lynx, Wildcat, Bobcat, changing
By the time of the 2270s, the Lynx is the base variant, and has been vastly improved over the original Cheetah class.
Okay, so I will change it from Cheetah to Lynx. I'll change the base one from Cheetah to Lynx. And I will get rid of the notes for Lynx-Class conversion.
Starship completed.
Sweet skooma.
However, as with most starships at the time, frigates were converted into scout vessels, a common practice at the time, except for the Federation, who introduced converted the Earth to do the job.
Yeah.
The Lyran's version was the Wildcat, which downgraded its weapons from 2 heavy disruptors to 1, and instead of a superpowered disruptor array, it had a huge sensor boom,
Starship completed.
which you can clearly see here.
Yeah.
Due to their simple design and ease of construction, these are more or less the most common ships in the Lyran Star Empire. However, they are too small for the expanding sphere generator.
Yeah.
Which is kind of depressing. Yet fully understandable.
Yeah.
And now for the Interstellar Concordium to learn the meaning of pain.
Yes. And time for us to get into the stats for this thing.
Starship completed.
So,
It is understandably pathetic.
yeah. So, for the Lynx, we'll start with an air service date of 2270, you said?
Yes.
2270, and scale 3, so we have 46 points to work with.
We have engaged the enemy.
We'll start by 7.
While the fodder ships are useful, everyone loves the big guns.
Starship
Yeah.
completed.
And while we, in our primer video, we decided that Lyran's focused on engines and weapons. So I will put both of them in rows. So, engines 9, weapons 9. So currently we have comm 7, computer 7, engines 9, sensor 7, structure 7, weapons 9. You said these things are glass cannons, so maybe we should take at least 1 point away from the sensors to put somewhere else. From structure to put somewhere else.
Most likely into engines. These things are really nippy.
Okay, so engines 10. Structure 6, engines 10.
So much talk.
Comm 7, computer 7, engines 10, sensor 7, structure 6, weapons 9. I think that works. Do you?
Well, they are generally pathetic.
Yeah.
Of course, the conversion is going to have to be, well,
Yeah. Anyway, for Lynx, we'll need... For the Lynx, I will put con at +2 and security at +1. This thing is very highly maneuverable.
Speak freely. Please be careful.
for space frame talents, let's go full in on the maneuverability aspect. Do we do improved reaction control systems or improved impulse drive? Or both?
Both. It's a speedy boat. Perhaps taking a little too much influence from the Klingons there. I wondered when the ISE was going to start sending in the bigger boats.
Starship completed.
Reaction control system. Alright. We have room for a mission profile talent, so obviously that's good there. Weapons. Strength 2 tractor beam, disruptor cannons. Would this thing have photon torpedoes?
This thing uses purely energy weapons.
So just disruptor cannons.
And disruptor beams.
So
Because they do use beam weaponry in SFC, but in SFC everybody uses phasers for some stupid reason.
Yeah, so disruptor cannons, disruptor banks. Alright. Now we get to the Wildcat conversion.
Downgrade the guns, increase the sensors.
Alright, so reduce weapons to 7, increase sensors to 9. I would also say reduce security to 0, increase science to
Good friend.
+1.
This is an honor.
So lore-wise, this is just a recon craft.
Recon, scout, border patrol. It's not meant for heavy combat. Any guns
Yeah.
it has is for anti-piracy duty.
And lastly, the Bobcats.
Oh, she's a repair tender.
Alrighty. In that case, probably a good, let's see, repair tender. Okay. I know there's something here that works. I know there's stuff from here.
I'm in the middle of something. Good friend, this is an honor.
Yeah. Alright. So, for Bobcat class conversion, probably drop weapons down to 8 at least. Weapons to 8. Actually, reduce weapons to 7. Increase structure to 8. That probably will help it with repair tasks and such.
Most like.
And just like with the Wildcat, we will reduce security to 0, but this time we will increase engineering to +1.
What is it? More slaves for the
And let's see. Alright. Repair I think that's about all I can think of for that.
What is it? What is it?
Well, I honestly can't think of anything else.
Yeah. So that is the Lynx, the Wildcat, and the Bobcat.
Cannon fodder. The most mass-produced ship in the Lyran Star Empire. But cannon fodder has its uses.
Indeed it does.
Please begin.
Of course, these guys did not have a great end. When the Lyran Star Empire was finally subsumed into the Klingon Empire, well, production stopped. Eventually, the Lyrans just started using Klingon-built ships.
Starship completed.
Yeah. At least until the 25th century, when, if we consider them to be the exact, if we consider the Lyrans and the Parasites to be the same people.
Which is more than likely.
But we will get to that later.
Bye.